Aman, in case you're forgetting that I am the boss, so I take all the decisions.
You should hang up.
Hello sir, we are the best bank in the world.
Stop
and our best bank is of...
calling me.
How can a person change overnight? How can you...
I don't wanna talk. God, I don't understand why I did this. It's so embarrassing. If you guys found that annoying, my editor made me do this, my video editor, and he's the one to be blamed. But anyway, let's get rolling. Hello everyone, I'm Ania from Mr. Phone and welcome to the full review of the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G. But before we start, motivate us by hitting the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell so that you don't miss any of our latest videos. I have been using the Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G for quite a while now, and the honeymoon phase is still on. Honestly, having a phone that has a glass front and being able to fold it in half, this tech is still kind of unbelievable for me, but reality is that this is a consumer ready folding glass flip phone. But of course, it doesn't come cheap, and so is the Galaxy Z Flip 3 worth it? Let's talk. Beyond fun and nostalgia, Samsung has made a solid phone here. I mean, the third generation of the Flip doesn't feel fragile or flimsy. I think the weight distribution is good, the hinge is firm and has held up superbly, and it inspires confidence every time you flip it open or slam it shut. Of course, you still can't flip this phone open in one go, like this. This way you will more likely, end up throwing the phone across the room. So that's not possible and I won't suggest that. But you can, do more like inserting a thumb in between and giving it a motion. See how easy it was? Simple flick or say a flip. This is super satisfying and also adds that swagger whenever you are out somewhere, doing this. Otherwise, I've already talked about the display in my first impressions and my opinion remains the same. The display on offer is vibrant, contrasty, it gets plenty bright indoors or outdoors, and I kind of like the wide aspect ratio. It definitely gives that cinematic feel whenever you watch stuff on Netflix. That's a plus. In fact, the stereo speakers are also a plus. In my opinion, they sound deep, they are loud, and there's good audio separation on offer as well. Let me quickly give you a demo. Otherwise, I remember the Galaxy Z Flip 5G had two major flags regarding the display. First, it was the 60Hz panel, and second, average sunlight legibility. Now, both of these things have been fixed with the Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G, so that is good to see. Coming to the outer display or the cover screen, it has grown in size and in functionality as well. Checking notifications is so much better now because of the extra screen real estate. However, I would have loved to see some sort of an auto reply feature here. Rest, there's not much to complain about the cover screen. I don't know, maybe add a Google Now widget, Samsung, if it's possible. That surely would be great. Moving on, let's talk about the software, and along with the aesthetics, Samsung has paid attention in this area as well. What they have done right is the fact that everything you get on a conventional Galaxy phone running on UI is here and it works flawlessly. But things like split window work like a charm. It is as if the split window feature was made for the Z Flip 3. Besides, there's Flex mode. Again, an app in this mode does different things on the top display and different things on the lower display. For instance, the Gallery app has a touchpad below while the photos show up above. Similarly, the camera has the controls below and the viewfinder is above. Also, there's a way to force flex mode for different apps, which is kind of sometimes useful for few apps, but not all the time. Basically, the apps that support flex mode natively work flawlessly. Now, the next step from Samsung should be to get more third-party developers on board so that many other popular apps also start supporting flex mode. And did I tell you there's a way to enable flip to answer and close to end calls from settings? Definitely turn it on if you get this phone, comes disabled by default. Otherwise, calls themselves sound loud and clear, they're good, network reception has been solid, I did not face any drops or whatsoever. There's 4G carrier aggregation as well, and you also get 5G, but that's obvious, it's in the name. Okay, performance wise, this phone has held up pretty well. So before we talk about the real world scenario, I'm leaving some benchmark scores on your screens for those who are interested. You can pause and take a look. Now, many would have loved to see a 12GB RAM variant as well from the performance perspective as well as the price perspective. But honestly, 8GB RAM has been pretty good. I haven't run into any performance-based issues. App switching has been fast, RAM management has been solid, app opening times are also good. So in terms of performance, I think the phone did a good job. Even when it comes to games, you get a top-notch experience, and that's because of two things. The Snapdragon 888 chipset, of course, and this wide display. Again, it is not just the movies. I'm sure if you love playing games on a phone, you will appreciate this. Although battery life has been a bit underwhelming and it comes at the cost of performance. See, the battery optimization is fine. The real problem is the battery capacity itself. So if you pair the 3300 mAh cell with the power-hungry Snapdragon 888 and the 120Hz screen refresh rate, that is inviting trouble, my friend. But still, on the bright side, if you're a light user, that is, you use your phone casually, you will still be able to get around 5 hours of screen on time in a day with about 20% battery left by EOD. With that being said, the battery capacity should have been more, at least 4000 mAh minimum. Charging speeds again are slow, but that's something that doesn't bother me because I usually charge my phone overnight, so not a major issue. And even when I commute in my car, there is Android Auto, so in the process, the phone is, getting charged. So charging basically isn't an issue for me. That said, the phone supports up to 15 watt of fast charging, and that is something, 25 watt should have been the standard here as well. Okay, let's talk about the camera now. So you're getting two lenses at the rear, a 12 megapixel main sensor with an f1.8 aperture and optical image stabilization. This is coupled with a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle sensor with an f2.2 aperture. For selfies, there's a 10 megapixel camera situated in a center aligned hole punch. You can use the Z Flip 3 to click photos in three different ways. First, just like a conventional smartphone, that is holding the phone in its unfolded state. Second, by placing the phone in flex mode for clicking selfies or for using the rear camera as well. And third, wherein you can utilize the rear cameras to click better selfies. This is thanks to the 1.9-inch cover screen. Okay, so there's no second thoughts that the main rear lens takes some crisp looking and vibrant images indoors or outdoors, not to mention the excellent dynamic range you get to see in photos. As for the ultra wide angle lens, well, it might not be as good as the main lens, but it definitely provides for some cool looking dramatic shots. Not to mention there's very little color disparity between the main and the ultra wide lens. Coming to the 10 megapixel selfie camera, this one also takes some amazing images that are sharp and detailed. I also love how the camera algorithm dealt with my skin tone. Even for portrait selfies, the phone did a solid job with edge detection. Now coming to the photos taken in not so great lighting, the night mode did help to keep the exposure in check for most of the photos here. And the overall details were also decent. However, when it comes to clicking human subjects, the camera did tend to over smoothen the skin texture. Details looked soft, and I found this to happen in 8 out of 10 cases. A software update might help in fixing this minor issue, but besides this, the camera system on the Galaxy Z Flip 3 does a good job for the most part. As for video recording, the rear camera can shoot up to 4K 60fps and the final output looks nothing short of amazing. The colors look vibrant, stabilization in the footage is on point, dealing with shadows can be improved. Again, a software update might help, but overall, good job with video recording as well. In fact, the phone also did a fabulous job with selfie videos. Here's a sample. Front-facing video being shot on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G. So this phone can shoot up to 4K 60fps videos from the front camera. This is the 4K 30fps video sample, and this is what you can expect in terms of output. Now, to be honest, colors look decent. Stabilization is also fine. As for the audio, there are 3 mics on this phone, 2 at the bottom, 1 at the top. So let me know how does my audio sound. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what do you think about the overall output here in the comments. Cheers. So why should you get the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G when you have, tried and tested options such as the Galaxy S21 series or even the iPhone 12? Why should you get this smartphone? Well, if you want a phone that's a crowd puller, a fashion statement, or if you want to own a phone with a large screen without having to own a cumbersome device, I would say definitely go for this one. I would alone go with this one because of the nostalgia factor and how fun it is to use in day-to-day life. But of course, your preferences can differ. That said, do keep in mind the average battery life that you're getting here. That is, if you are getting the smartphone. Because if you can somehow work around this average battery life bit, trust me, you won't regret buying this smartphone because it is every bit worth it and it is extraordinary. And that was my review of the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, for all the latest in tech, stay tuned to Mr. Phone. I'll catch you all in the very next one. Thank you for watching.